It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunscheen.
Hey, it's the Chief from the Dice Tower. I'm bringing you Tide of Iron. You're looking at my old coffin box. I actually have two of these. And now you're looking at the brand new Next Wave. Now, I'm going to tell you, I got a little cookie here. And if you've ever finished off that last cookie, it's chocolate chip, and it's just delicious, and it's all gone, and you're like, man, that was a good cookie. I wish I had more. Well, this is what Next Wave is like. Whole new bag of cookies, baby. Because here's what Next Wave does. Next Wave is nothing new. It's exactly this in a smaller box. They've cleaned it up. They've taken all the errata, the facts that have come over the years. They've incorporated in the rules, so they've cleaned everything up. They've actually made a rule book that's going to slowly dole out the information for those new people that haven't gotten into the system. They put it in a box that's much easier to store. It's got all the same things in it, the same maps, same pieces, actually added 4 tanks. And they've re-released the core set so that you can get back into this system. The system already has expansions in this size box for the Desert War, for Normandy, for Russia. They've got a special one I did a review on just for Stalingrad, and there's more planned. They're talking about everything from, I think they were saying Finland to the Pacific, Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, I don't know. So, but very exciting because now that this is back in, the core set opens it up for all the folks that weren't in to jump back in and also participate in all these great new releases that hopefully are coming from 1A Games. So very, very excited. Let's go in and take a look at what's inside. How did they get all of that, all of this, into that? All right, I've popped off the box lids. And you're looking at Next Wave up here and the old Tombstone box here. I'm going to show you the manuals first of all because I'm very, very impressed with what 1A Games was able to do. They took this rule book here, which is, you know, it's not crazy, but it is thick. And what they did was they're going to spoon feed you. So what you get is this very small introductory scenarios, and it's read first. It literally says read first here. And you read through this and it's going to take you through, I believe it's 5 different scenarios, and it just slowly introduces the game to you. Brilliant. A lot of folks do get scared off by war games and the amount of complexity that comes at you. So as they work these in, these little scenarios, it's just a nice little tutor that's coming along with you for the ride. Nothing intimidating, nothing scary. You now got the basics down. You understand how the system works. Boom, you've played a few games. It's time to move on to read second. So literally says rules of play, read second. Now in here, you're gonna get artillery. You're gonna get a lot more things going on with turn examples, assaults, fatiguing units, all kinds of different stuff that's going to be added into here. Building squads, sorry, I'm off camera. Building squads, just more massive scenarios. Everything in here that you would need is just right in here, page after page explaining combat. And then the third book is the Tools of War. It's got some other little errata that's in here, and then all of your scenarios that are laid down inside. Very well done. Nice way to introduce new players, which is exactly what the Next Wave core set's supposed to do. Also comes with these little player reference sheets, almost identical to what was in the first one. So I'm gonna pull these out and then I'm gonna shift everything a little bit. I have not punched these out because I already own 2 copies of this. They're identical except for the colors. The colors are pretty close. You're never going to get a perfect match. They've changed a little bit of the artwork, just slightly. To me, the rivers are a little bit beefed up. You can see they look a little bit more like a river. So they've, in my opinion, they've improved the art. Looks a little bit more realistic. So not bad. They would definitely all mix together just fine as well. One thing they did that they really got all of the information onto these boards, and they were able to eliminate one whole board from the box just due to the design that they were able to squeeze in more stuff. Very nice compact design, and again, just a wonderful job by 1A Games, because this tombstone box here was really unwieldy. I'm going to get this out of the way, but I just kind of want to show you. You'd pop in, everything's bagged up. You kind of got your soldiers stored down in there. Over here is your little tiles, your very thick cut tiles. I can't even get them out of there. I've kind of torn the box over here because it's so big and everything's so heavy. Art's nice. All my figures are down in here, and I'm going to switch over here. We're going to get this out of the way. Nice little box. So you're going to have your cards. All your soldiers are going to store here, along with all the little chits. And in under here is all your plastic and all your real thick boards. Same board count, so you're not missing anything. Matter of fact, you're gaining 4 pieces of plastic, 4 tanks that you're going to pick up. You're going to pick up Stug 3 and an M10. Normally, there's nothing unique that you have to buy this set for, so they didn't go out and screw anybody over. You used to be able to get those tanks. You still can get those tanks in the Normandy expansion. So they haven't done any harm with this next wave. If you want it, you can grab it, but you don't have to have it unless you're just getting into the system. I'm going to show you the components real quick. So you've got a Tiger tank, Mark IV. Here's your little Stug. That's what you're going to get special in here. Again, you can get this in the Normandy expansion. The Mark X, same deal, a little bit special. These two here did not come in the original Tide of Iron box. Half-track, American half-track, there's your Sherman. Over here you have the base. Now, these guys, you notice they got little pegs on them. You fit your squad, this represents an entire squad, you fit them into these pegs. You can build it however you want. This is regular riflemen, American and German. Here's an officer. Here's an assault troop or an elite troop. Heavy weapons, and of course they've got their probably NG34, 42. Here's our heavy, I don't know, it's like a water-cooled machine gun and a mortar team. You also get to see how nice these maps are. Well, officers bring several things into play. Fast recovery, rally, determination, increased mobility so the squad can move +1. Basically, if you have disrupted units, you can remove all the tokens in the hex where your officer is. If there's troops that are pinned, any squad that's in the same X can rally and still make a concentrated attack. And then determination is just any squad that's again in the same hex as the officer gets also a +1 cover against suppressive fire. So you could see, you know, joining an officer with an elite infantry unit, you'd actually get a +2 in cover against suppressive fire. So there's nice little things that you get from having the different modeled figures in your built-in squad. All right, I'm zoomed in on these little specialization markers. So you got a medic, you got a bazooka, flamethrower, engineer. So these clip in. I'm not going to be able, let me just set one of these up. So they clip in like so. They just go right in there. Bam, I've got a medic squad. So let's start with what the medic can do first of all. The medic basically is going to do exactly what you would think. You can use the unit and the medic can go out and actually heal another squad that's in their same hex. And what happens is you'll actually do a die roll, and if you're successful, they're going to get a regular infantry figure to be replaced back onto that neighboring unit's squad. So you can beef them back up. You're also going to get a +1 cover against any normal attacks. So medic's helping you out a little bit. Then you got your flamethrower. Hello, we know what flamethrowers do. A flamethrower attacks any adjacent enemy unit, it gets a +2. The other nice thing is the target unit receives a -5 cover. Now that doesn't affect armor. Armor's not affected by that, but it shows exactly, I mean, you can be in a bunker and you just nail that flamethrower in there. That cover's not doing what it normally would have done, and they're also getting their +2 on their attacking squad firepower. The anti-tank or the bazooka. It's an armor-piercing weapon, obviously. The bazooka has a base range of 3, and it adds a +3 to your firepower. And then the engineer, that little circle piece right there. The engineer's cool. You can dig, you can exhaust the unit or fatigue the unit, and then you can create an entrenchment in that hex. So kind of a nice little deal. So those 4 little special deals, and then as you get, or if you get, different expansions for the game, you often will get different little special things that you can do with those little clip tokens. Nice touch, very unique, really allows that mixing and matching I talked about earlier. A game round's very simple. It's just 3 phases. You have your action phase, which is all your combat, movement, I go, he go. So I'm going to take a turn, then my opponent's going to take a turn, so on and so on until everybody's been activated or somebody doesn't want to move a unit. You then go to a command phase. Command phase has to do with a lot of whatever the objectives are in the game. You're going to receive victory points for things you've done or command points for points that you've achieved per whatever scenario you're playing. And then you just move into a status phase, which is kind of a cleanup mode, but you're also going to be drawing new cards, changing some tokens around. You can do some squad transfers. You can place units in op fire for the next turn, which will allow them to kind of interrupt your opponent's different things they're doing if it's advantageous to you. And that's it. So it's a real tight system. So coming back, if you haven't played Tide of Iron, the coolest thing about it is the way you can mix and match your squads. You can have elite troops mixed in with regular troops. You could add in an officer that's going to give you the little special abilities. You can add in heavy weapons teams, and then the ability to take that little counter and make that unit special. The unit now has a bazooka. They've got a flamethrower, whatever. So you can add those little things in, or a medic, that just add on to the little base, like with the little clip, and it makes the ability for you to kind of mix things up very, very nice, very intriguing. That is what's special for Tide of Iron. So a lot of other games will give you tactical combat, tactical warfare, World War II, but the customization that you can do with Tide of Iron is really, really special. So very excited to see next wave come in, and hopefully a lot more people can jump into the Tide of Iron bandwagon. It's the Chief Dice Tower. See you guys later.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.